Hello everybody, so today I am starting my revisiting series. If you follow me on Facebook, you have seen that I said I was going to be carrying on the Versus series, and I'm going to be starting the revisiting series. Revisiting is where I go back and watch a film that maybe I didn't like it the first time, and I want to sort of watch it again and see, maybe I like it the second time, or maybe it's a film that I've liked the first time, but there's some things I didn't see in it, and I want to go back and watch it and talk about them. Today's film, for the first in the revisiting series, is a Serbian film. A Serbian film is a film that I saw, like, when it first came out in 2010. I saw it and I wasn't very sure about it. I was very disturbed by it. I'd watched many disturbing films, but this was a film that sort of pushed things really far and stuff. But the reason I'm revisiting it is I don't like this film really, but I like some aspects of it. But the reason I'm revisiting it is because I've been looking up stuff online about it and how the director has said that it's got very political things to it about Serbia, and that's what I want to speak about today. A Serbian film is directed by Serjan Spasovic and written by Serjan Spasovic and Alexander Rejovic. I've said the names probably completely wrong. A Serbian film is a story of a porn star who's getting very old now. Not like really mad old, but getting quite old, and he sort of wants to retire from the porn industry. But someone approaches him and says, "Come and do this film for us. It will give you money for the rest of your life, the money for family for the rest of your life." But he goes into this porn film not knowing truly what it is about, and something horrible is hidden in this horrible porn film that he has gone into. I'm just inside the booklet. I just want to quickly read a quick quote from the director. "If you are going to make a movie that matters, which is going to say something important, you have to put the lead characters and audience watching them through hell. You have to show everyone what true hell is. If you lived in Serbia during the past 20 years, you'd think you'd have seen the worst that could happen, but you'd be wrong. And that's what a Serbian film is truly about." I want to read a few of his actual quotes. There's another quote in here. This one is, "A Serbian film is a hard-hitting diary of our own molestation by the Serbian government." And also this last one right here is, "A Serbian film is a production answer to all those who said it couldn't be done, but we made a true Serbian film without any Serbian government help at all." How is a Serbian film really about the politics of Serbia, the government of Serbia? Yes, they've made this film without the Serbian government, and it's the first sort of film that has been made without that, and it was just off their own backs and by an independent sort of people that helped them make this film. And in a way, a Serbian film is an independent film, but is it truly about the politics? Now, there is scenes where he's going to this porn film, and there will be spoilers in this video, just to warn you. If you haven't seen a Serbian film, there will be spoilers in here, because I want to explain the film properly to people and talk about it properly. A Serbian film is, in those scenes, Milo, the porn star, the main guy of this film, is explained that, "Oh, in this, you don't know what's happening in this film. We can't tell you what's happening. You won't know what's happening." And there's no escape in this world, and that porn is for people that just want to come, and they can't come with sex or anything. They just want to come, and I think with maybe just maybe it could be poking at Serbia politics and how there is no real escape from them, and how things are very messed up and you don't truly know what's going on. I'm not someone that I've researched into some things, but I think that with Serjan Spasovic, I think that maybe he's done about the politics, and yes, you can understand what he's coming from there. And there's an intro with this thing where he was sort of talking about it, and how about the newborn porn scene, an absolutely horrible scene, is how it's showing how you're raped from birth. Could have just done something different for that. I'm also going to be talking about, this is the cut version, and because in the UK we got like about, I think, 10 minutes something cut from it, and I have seen the uncut one. I'm going to be speaking about the differences at the end of this as well, but I just want to say, I think maybe this could be about the politics, but if we weren't everything so much was thrown at us. Now, Serjan has said that I didn't want to shock with this film. When I got down to editing, I only realised how shocking this film really was. That sort of like feels like a lie to me. Now the reason that feels like a lie to me is because this film has necrophilia, paedophilia, rape, incest, the newborn porn scene, just violence to women, and lots of horrible violence, or penises, and just porn, and it's just, if he wasn't wanting to shock people, then why did he do so many subject matters like that in this film? That seems like a massive lie to me, and this film was really to shock, and that I can understand the political thing, and how the newborn porn is apparently meant to be how you're raped at birth, and it's sort of poking at the horror of the porn industry as well, and the things that happen today. And just, I think if we weren't so overbeared and so pushed on at this shocking footage, then maybe we could understand it, and maybe we could be like, alright, yep, I can understand the politic things here, how there's no escape from them, and this porn star cannot get away from this porn film, and he has to keep going back to it, and how the people have to sort of keep going back to their government and their politics to get through their life. It's just, at the end of the film, there's also the scene where the director he's on the floor, he's just been punched loads by Milo, because Milo has just found out about something incredibly horrible that is happening right here, that he's just raped his son. That is a really, really horrible scene right there, and the director lays on the floor and says, I can't say it in Serbian, but he says, "This is art. This is cinema. Yes, Milo, this is cinema." And then he says, "This is the film." So I'm not sure if they're poking at like cinema. I know this is sort of talking about the Serbian cinema, and of the cinema of the 1970s. I know they sort of wanted to do something like that again, and I know that the cinema of the 1970s was shocking, and it was also talking about how with Serbian newscasting, I know that in many years ago, in the 1970s and over the years, they have shown footage of beheadings and of horrible things on their news, and I think that's what this film is poking at. There's the whole beheading scene in this, and it's just, I feel like I still do not like this film. It's a film that the director saying it, he wasn't trying to shock, that it seems like a lie to me, and that it's incredibly controversial, this film, and it feels like it's trying too hard to be controversial, and just like the subject that it wants to sort of pick up on just sort of goes over people's heads, because they're like, alright, maybe you can see it, but then when all this violence and gore and many horrible things are thrown at you, you sort of just don't really understand where the director's coming from with the politics thing. And where Sergeant says, look past all the violence and stuff and understand that we're doing this whole talking about politics of Serbia and the government of Serbia, it's just like, sorry, but we can't really look past that with all this horrible gore and violence and horrible things getting thrown at us. Yeah, that's just the thing I wanted to talk about mostly with this. Now I would tell you about how much is cut from this, and the horrible things that were cut from this. Now I can understand why things are cut from this. The BBFC thing does sort of annoy me in a way, and I think people should have the option of, if they want to see a film, they can see a film. Like, there's many films that I own that are banned in the UK, and I've had to get them imported over. Like, I have Grotesque, The Bunny Game, Murder Set Pieces. That's 3 films that are banned in the UK, and there's some that sort of there's some of those films I can't really understand why they're banned in the UK. The main reason Grotesque is banned in the UK is because it doesn't have BBFC have on their website written, Grotesque is banned because it doesn't have a plot like Hostel and Saw. What? And it's just like talking about how it's just violence for violence and stuff, and I can understand some things are grotesque, but there is a proper story to actual Grotesque. But I'm going off subject there. So in film, now the things that are cut from it are, in the uncut version, the beheading scene, you probably see some more with that. There's the sort of the things that are uncut are the there's more violence, there's more gore in this, but the main things that are mostly cut are the newborn porn scene. In the uncut version, you see him put the baby on his penis. You see those scenes where they're just sort of looking away from the screen. It's like, oh, the reason that guy looks so shocked and Milo looks so shocked is because there is actually on the screen the guy properly putting the baby on his penis, and it is horrible. And the scene of incest with him having sex with his son blood. You see blood pouring out of the son's bum, and it's absolutely horrible. So that's the uncut things that I can mostly remember from the uncut version. Yeah, there's quite a bit cut from the UK version. We get a lot of stuff cut in the UK, but a Serbian film is just a film that with this revisiting, I can sort of understand the political things, but it's a film that is still absolutely horrible. It's very shocking. It's hard to watch. It's very uneasy. And if you're squeamish, then I'd say don't really watch this. This film is very, very, very horrible, and just the things of paedophilia and just the whole incest and thing just make me feel uneasy with this film, and it still made me feel uneasy on the second watching. And I watch a lot of shocking stuff, but this film still makes me feel very uneasy at points. Now, the only thing I like about this film is I like the soundtrack. The soundtrack is a really great soundtrack, and the credits song is a really great song. It's done by a rapper. I forgot the rapper's name, but it's a really good soundtrack. And the other thing I like is the cinematography of this film. This film is incredibly well shot, and the colours look absolutely incredible for this film. That's the only things I like about it, and it's still just, I don't think I'll be watching this film again anytime soon. It's something that I will say to people when people say, "Oh, Luke, give me a shocking," because there's some people that come to me and just ask me to recommend them shocking films, and this is the film I always sort of say, "It's a shocking film, watch it." It is just it's just pure shock factor. But has anyone else seen this, and do you sort of understand the whole political thing? I think with this viewing and reading up the political things, I can sort of understand some of it, but then this political thing sort of gets pushed out the window when you have all the violence and the horrible things thrown at you. I've been repeating myself a lot in this, but I hope you enjoyed my first episode of revisiting a very, very horrible film, but just a film that this is something I wanted to speak about for quite a while, and yeah, that's a Serbian film. If you've seen a Serbian film, do you enjoy this, and do you sort of agree with my opinions on it, or do you think this is a good film, and do you think it's one of the most shocking films, or do you think there's more shocking out there? I think there is more shocking films than this. This is incredibly shocking points, but there are incredibly more shocking films out there. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Revisiting. If you want to say films down there that you think maybe I should revisit, if you can find maybe just say films or whatever, and you'll be getting another Revisiting episode this week as well, because there's another film I want to speak about, and you'll also be getting another film that I've been wanting to speak about for quite a while, the subject on it, that I've done a review on it, but it's a subject I want to speak about it. And this video is going on for too long now, so I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Revisiting, and that is all for today. Thank you very much, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.